Hey everybody, KC0VI Tom along with Mr. Duke. Good morning. We've had an excellent time camping. We were a very good dog. We only barked a couple times at something out there in the middle of the night. It sounded scary, wasn't it? Yeah. We had lunch, or excuse me, had breakfast. Had my coffee. Duke had a little breakfast. He tried stealing all of my Pop-Tart. He must have been hungry. He worked up a lot of appetite. Talk about teardown. Kind of just like your setup, but only in reverse order. Wi-Fi, radio, stuff like that. Small items will shut down first so they're out of the way. Put in your awning, put your awning out, your rugs, all that. Make sure it's all folded up, put away. Start on the windows, AC, heat, whatever you had to turn on to make it comfortable inside. Make sure you start closing up. Power down the AC unit or the heater unit. Turn off your LP. And then if you had a full hookup site, dump your tanks and disconnect your water line. Then if you're at a tow vehicle, make sure you hook it up, go around, verify that the outriggers are up before you hook it up to the camper. Stabilizers, I always seem to forget that. Like I said, everybody makes mistakes out there. Don't feel bad, you newbies, if you screw up once in a while. Even us veterans screw up. Pull the truck a little bit, and I always tap that emergency or the brake controller on the camper to make sure that the hitch is connected up right, brakes are working, and that'll stop you. And then you know the brakes are working. Then I go around and collect all the leveling blocks. Then I will check the lights, put on the four-ways, put on the marker lights, walk around, make sure everybody's working. Then I'll go through any storage compartment doors, any doors out there, I'll get them all locked up. And before I pull off, what I usually try to do is walk that site, make sure we didn't leave anything, make sure somebody didn't have a favorite toy out here and left it. It's amazing what you find when you come in. What's the matter? Okay, he's got to make a little trip. And then on the way out of the campground, most campgrounds, if you don't have a dump station for full hookups at your site, there is a dump station. You can dump them off there, or there'll be one locally. There's always, there seems to be a dumpster for your trash. A lot of places are doing can collection for recycling. That may go to the local, club. Somebody will put in like Boy Scouts or Quands or something like that. Get a little money off those cans that you enjoyed all weekend. And yes, somebody wants to go somewhere. So people ask me, why do you have check sheets like that? There's a couple reasons. It keeps you on task. The worst thing that can happen to you when you're in a campground, or worst thing you can do when you're in a campground, when somebody pulls in, you run over there and tell them, hey, I'll help you, I'll do this, and back on up. Or if somebody's setting up, you go over and start talking and ask some questions about the rig. If somebody's pulling in, give them their space, unless they come over and ask you. A lot of times what I'll do, I'll sit in the lawn chair and just watch them, keep an eye on a couple items on my side. If they get too close, I'll make a little noise. We were up at Ellendale one time, and these two gals pulled in with a humongous fifth wheel, a great big four-door pickup truck pulling it. One gal got out and walked back to the end of the gravel pad, and the other gal started backing in. I was flipping burgers, and I was, okay, we got a tree on this side, I'll just eyeball that for them. Not really saying much. By the time I flipped the burgers, they were packed in, the slides were coming out, and the spotter, she walked over and says, never seen anybody drive like that before. I go, she did a better job than I could have, It's just, the more you camp, the more you have practice on the rig, backing up, away it goes. Now, when it comes to tearing down and packing up and leaving, do not bother somebody who's doing that, because it's very important they get certain stuff done in a certain order. If they're in the midst of hooking up the tow vehicle to the to the trailer, and you interrupt them and they lose track what they did, what they didn't do, it's real easy to forget the brake controller or a chain, or lock down that ball hitch. That's why I always stress, before you move that camper for the final out the door, do a walk around. I like to touch all the doors, make sure they're locked. I like to touch the latch on the hitch, make sure that is down, make sure the pin is in there. I don't know how many times I've seen people drive off with the pin not in that hitch. It's going to be a heck of a big bump for it to pop out, but it could happen. The other thing, I use these oversized hoops on my pins so I can drape the electrical connection through that, then to it, the connection point on the camper. That way it's not there's not a chance for it dragging on the ground or dragging on a low spot. On that, he's got to take a pee, I bet, bathroom break. I'm going to stretch my legs and we're going to tear down and start packing up. Hope you enjoyed the series. They still got a couple more. Once you get your rig home, there's certain things you should do when you get home. We'll cover that in the next video. I don't want to go home, Duke. This has just been a gorgeous weekend. 7-3, everybody. Be sure to tell your friends, neighbors, other hams. Subscribe, hit that bell to get notification when new videos come out. Add comments below. 7-3, everybody.